AI. Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the Good Things. Right now, we are joined by some special guests, my boys. We got Scissor, and we got my
Yeah,
man Tat Wizard.
yeah.
We're here. We're going to talk a little bit of AI. I was telling these guys I got this shirt on because I reviewed some Daredevil stuff and I saw some Daredevil stuff, so I was like, let me keep it Marvel. I was talking to Ande a little bit
Okay,
earlier. He gave me his comic review. It's a DC review about the new Batman stuff. It was pretty cool.
okay. That's what's up.
Yeah, yeah. So how you guys doing today?
Chilling like a villain.
Doing
Yeah,
good,
so I
man.
was I
Doing
was
good.
talking earlier. How about you, sis? How you feeling, man?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good.
Good, good. I was saying earlier in my talk up in the beginning of this episode, like we have AI, and AI right now, we have some good AI, we have some bad AI, and I'm wondering what's the use? Are creatives going to get lazy using this? And is AI important? Because I'm kind of wondering, why do I need to use it? Now, recently there's been a lot of talk. Recently, like in the last couple of weeks, I don't know if there's more marketing, but I'm seeing a lot of Claude ads and my algo, and I think that's your fault, Tad, that I'm just seeing 3 million Claude ads on my Insta. So help me here. Help me. What is AI? What is Claude and why should the people use it? Oh, wait, before I say that, Tat, what's the name of your podcast? Because you have a podcast about AI also and about technology.
Yeah, well, it's more about technology than AI specific, but we cover a lot of AI, and it's called Know Your Future. Shout out to my man, Abraham Maldonado. He is actually in the AI space, an open AI ambassador, and has Create Labs with his partner Grady Spivey, and they do a bunch of dope stuff. He has an AI model himself, schools. He's doing a bunch of dope stuff. So yeah, Know Your Future is indeed where we talk about that. We talk about crypto. We talk about a bunch of technology based stuff as well. Yeah, but well, as far as what is AI, Sis, please take it. Oh, as I as you were going for a
Nah,
sip, my bad.
I mean, so I think we all know what AI is, and we've all been using AI for a while. I think where we are now is in the generative AI phase, where we have, as humans, access to use AI on a daily basis, giving input and getting output. So that's what the explosion's about. They put it in our hands, right? And for me, this is familiar territory. We all, are tech forward people, so we remember different, things that came about. Let's just go with the smartphone, right? For me, this is the new age smartphone. We all remember like the old school smartphones, the PDAs, and a lot of us had the Palm Treo and all that
Out
kind
to
of
the
stuff.
palm.
I'm saying like, people had the sidekicks and all that. Those things were way ahead of their time. This
Hmm.
is pre-iPhone. You know what I'm saying? So we
Hmm.
was, fooling around with all the technology, time ports. You
This
know what I'm
is
saying?
this is my first AI. This is my first computer right here. You know,
Crazy.
The Walkman.
it's the Walkman. Yes, it's a
Yeah.
Walkman. Like I
Like
said,
but we all remember when all that dropped, right?
Yep.
So AI is this super amazing thing, but at the same time, it could be used for all kind of goofy stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I like to shift the conversation away from good AI and bad AI to good AI users and bad AI users, because that's what this is really going to be about.
Yeah. It's going to be the people that are the trash that makes things difficult, right? Because yes, you can use an AI model that doesn't have the guardrails so you can get whatever you want, but it's the person that's prompting it to get the bullshit that is, the hate and the rage bait and all the bullshit that we're seeing that's flooding our system. And as far as the Claude in the recent times, to Scissor's point, like they put the technology in our hand. What you're seeing is actually just adoption. Like it's just people saying, "Yo, I'm going to set up an AI agent to do this stuff for me." Oh, I heard this is easy. I can vibe code. I can do this. I can do that. And if you're taking advantage of it right now, while it's low cost or practically free, which is the smart thing to do, then you're adopting to it. So that's what you're seeing is people onboarding like, oh, this is crazy. But at some point, it's going to be everywhere, and it may not even be as free as it is right now. So get to it.
So what's Claude? Like I heard two things. LLM language learning model or learning language.
Large
Large
language
language
model.
model.
Large language model. And that is Chat GPT and Claude, right? Those two things are synonymous or no?
The same thing. Says tell them.
Yeah, I would say yeah. So the large language model is the base of AI. So that's just kind of like the brain, right?
Got
Basically.
it.
So different companies have developed different LLMs. And so you got Open AI, and then Claude, what's it, anthropomorphic or
Anthropic, yeah.
Anthropic, right? So they're just two companies that have developed their LLMs and have allowed people to utilize it. There are others, different countries, different iterations or whatever. But the reason why we're really hearing a lot about Claude right now is Claude is seizing the opportunity because you had the gaffe or the fumble of OpenAI with the Pentagon and the Trump administration. And not to be judgy about it because I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but it looks like they're allowing some fuck shit to happen, and allow the Pentagon to use their technology. And Claude said, no, we're not going to allow that. So now it's a lot of moral high ground. And Claude is using the moral high ground as an opportunity to onboard new users. So they're being very strategic and very smart, and they're ramping up their visibility because nobody was talking about Claude a month ago. You know what I'm saying? Even
Only
though
for
it was
coding.
out and it was dope. Yeah, but
Yeah.
Claude is amazing for coding, but it just wasn't. ChatGPT's been the sexy go-to. You know what I'm saying? It was first, it jumped out the box,
Yeah.
but this is Claude's opportunity to position themselves because, like I said, OpenAI did something that a lot of people think is unsavory.
Yeah.
I just want people to know we are not sponsored by any of these names or companies we talk about. This is our personal opinions.
Also, Claude Bot, the agent, is not specific to Claude, the LLM. They're not the same.
Yeah, that's a good distinction.
Are they owned by the same company?
No. Claude Bot is an open source agent that anybody can download and put in program, whereas Claude is Anthropic's LLM.
Right.
So are we at Skynet? Is that where we are? Like, how far are we right now? I need to know when this nuclear war is going to start because I feel like some people are going to feel lost and left out, and they're going to rebel and want to burn the machines.
I don't think so. I mean, AI has been naturally integrated into what we're doing anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you just take Meta, right? Facebook, formerly known as Facebook, they started to integrate AI into their search engine, and people didn't even realize, right? Google started to put AI results in their search engine, right? And then they just slowly kind of developed Gemini, right? Hey, you want to use this? And it's your Hey Google, right? Except Hey Google got a little bit smarter and started to talk back to you and have conversation. My Alexa, right? They did a beta of Alexa Plus. Next thing you know, my Alexa got an opinion. She's telling jokes. She's a little snarky. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's been some soft integration over time to where folks don't even realize, like, you've been using AI heavily and helping to train these models. So like Tad said, it's going to anything that's computerized is going to be AI. It's anything that is like your voice assistant and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be fully AI capable of having conversation in no time. So you're not going to be able to escape it.
Sounds like Skynet. Yeah. So We
Well, the thing about Skynet, right, is the fear that militarized AI goes sentient and goes rogue and decides to kill all the humans because they're the ones killing the planet. So it's trained to save the planet or be best for the planet or something like that, right? And
they're
as
not
we
going to train to
race,
save the planet now. So yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not. We just saw to what we were just talking about. The whole thing between Anthropic and OpenAI is the reason allegedly Anthropic didn't want to take the thing is so it wouldn't auto surveil and automatically kill people if prompted to. So they're definitely going to train it to do that. Like that's a part of what's happening. We're nowhere near that. Um, I would say personally that if there is going to be a thing like that, it's going to be a thing like Palantir or whatever that goes crazy after some point. But I think that's one platform, and we have several that are not learning in that aspect. So we're kind of in a good trajectory of that, if that's a way to look at it. Um, and one thing that kind of, in my mind, that I'm hoping is the case is there's been this, oh, mankind will be doomed and all of this, but maybe what if it's more like the AI says, yo, these billionaires are the problem. That's got to change. Let's flatten the playing field. And that's why they're trying to avoid whatever there may be that's doom and gloom. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of got to let this progress and see how it's going to play out. I don't think it's going to be a Skynet situation, though.
Nah, I think and that is most people's introduction to AI, right? It's in movies. It's AI goes rogue, AI is this, AI is that. We didn't really think about prompts when we came up with all that Hollywood stuff, right? We didn't think about the fact that we were going to be using. I tell people AI is a computer. It's a really smart computer, right? But at the end of the day, you put something in, you get something out.
It's about the
And
user.
then it bases what it gives you off of what is the available information in the air. It works just like the human brain, right? Everything that you've seen and you absorb is who you are,
Yep.
right? So whatever it has access to is what it pulls from. That's all it knows. So if you have an LLM that's in your computer and you stop giving it information, it doesn't know what's going on past a certain point,
Yep.
right? It just lives in that box.
Now, is that
But
a
ones that
safeguard? Is that a
no,
safeguard?
I wouldn't say it's a safeguard because you're limiting what it can
Just
do.
makes your LLM dumb.
Right. Now you just got a dumb LLM because now it doesn't know. It's like being stuck in a house for a year
Yeah.
with no TV and no idea what's actually happening in the real world.
Yeah.
Right. The fear of AI is based on what people will get AI to do. Right. And so we was having this conversation the other day, right?
Yep.
Grok. So Grok, for example, Grok is AI, but it's an AI sandbox. So
And
Grok is run. So
Grok
Grok is X, right?
Grok is
Yeah.
Elon's.
So
Elon,
that's
if
yeah.
you're in your Tesla and you ask for the AI
No.
assistant, and
Technically, in the Tesla is XAI,
Yeah.
which is separate from Grok.
see,
Yeah.
this is why I have
So
these guys here because us, people that don't know, it's all the same shit. All right, tell them. Keep going.
so Grok is programmed by X, right? If I have custom chat GPT models that I program. I tell them how to think. Well, I don't tell them how to think, but I give them like a personality, right? I say be nerdy, right? I say, tell jokes. It understands slang, right?
Let me
It,
ask
it
you a question.
mhm.
Just to go back, because right where you said this thing, and I think it's important, you're using prompts,
Yeah.
right? But let's just take a second for the audience that might not know. What is a prompt? And
A
just to make it
prompt
sure, is a question or is what's a
a
prompt?
prompt is it's a conversation. So if I say, yo, goods, what's up? That's a
What's up?
prompt. And then
What's
you
up?
respond.
Yeah.
So anything you say to the AI,
That'll make
is
it react
what
to
the
you.
AI will speak about. The AI is not just going to start talking to you. The AI waits for you to start the conversation. So a prompt
Okay.
is just a conversation starter. It can be a request,
Back
but
to
it doesn't have to be.
your nerdy 3 AIs. Describe them again, please.
So I was just going to say, so with Grok, right? Grok is owned by X, and it is programmed by X to have a certain personality, to be a certain way, to accept things, to speak in a certain manner. Like they handle all of that. So when you had that little racist incident, um, like Grok can say, or they can say, Grok, be more conservative, or be less conservative, be nicer, be less nice, be more serious. Like tone. They can give it tone. They can give it, certain things that'll make it come off a certain way. I have a betting AI called Rookie Bookie,
Mhm.
and I have a music assistant named Mia, music industry assistant, right? So Mia is a helpful um, assistant who knows all about the music industry, business, can help you find a studio, can do all these things that you might need. It's concierge, right? And she's bubbly and helpful,
What
right?
would you ask me?
I would ask her, publishing. I one of so you can have like custom prompts for people that come to your, to your GPT, and one of them is, how do I make money off of music? Real simple question, and it breaks down all the royalties,
Okay. Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll
Yeah.
literally tell you all the royalties that'll be on your song, and who to sign up with and where to sign up. So
Okay.
I could say, hey, I got a new single I'm coming out with. Help me with a marketing plan. It'll help you develop a 30-day social media calendar. It'll help you come up with strategies, tips, engagement, ways to engage people. Like it understands certain aspects of marketing, all these things that we don't know fully in depth. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I wanted to be able to help creatives with that aspect, because that's where we struggle. So I built it as a tool. And then the betting one, that was kind of like
That's more
my,
important. I'm joking.
hey, listen, it maybe some good money, last
Yeah,
week.
I mean, like that's why I think the average person is going to use it, like get rich quick schemes. I'm
But the
with you
reason
on
why I
this with
built
mental
that,
health.
the,
Okay.
the reason why I built that is because it was an opportunity for me to test data.
Mm.
So and I was able to build APIs. So it was like my training wheels. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like my first thing I built, because I was just throwing mad data in there and
Mhm.
seeing how it worked and giving it like ways to think and checking out different like betting techniques and all that kind of stuff. But it was really, I was playing around in math. You know what I'm saying? Because all like betting is probability.
Right.
So if I say, yo, this is LeBron James's stat line for the past 10 years, I'm gonna give you all his stats. This is the team he's playing. This is their defensive stats. Do you think he'll do this thing, and why?
Mm-hmm.
Right? What's the odds? What's the probability? So it was a way for me to really learn about how I could train an AI, even so much more than the music business one. You know what I'm saying? So I learned
Mm-hmm.
more going back and forth hours and hours and hours and hours and feeding information and finding different APIs and learning how to connect it to pull odds from Vegas and all this different kind of stuff. And it's not something I think that helps me any more than sitting there and looking at the stats myself, but it just makes it faster than somebody I can have a conversation with, you know what I'm saying, to kind of get
Right.
what I need. So it's
Right.
like if Tat's my bookie or he's my guy that understands the props and we sit down, we have a conversation, I could bounce things off of him, except he's got all the stuff in his head. I say, yo, who's playing tonight? And you just pull up the whole schedule.
But the
Yeah.
Who's
bookie's going to
starting?
help
Who's
you.
injured?
Your
You
your
know what I'm
mu-
saying?
your gambling GPT that definitely might try to help you out though, right?
Well, I mean, on top of that, look how it says it's getting ahead of some things because look how big Poly Market and what's the other one that starts with a K? Kelsey, something. Those two things are predictive markets, and all they are is AI is trying to say, let's bet on what's going to happen. You can bet
Hmm.
on anything, like anything. Yo, is mustard gonna bust on Trump's sandwich today? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
you can bet on
bet on
anything.
anything.
And so he's getting ahead of something that's getting ready to be even bigger in our society.
Yeah. So yeah, AI, man, it's I think it's all about too, is about how you look at it, right? It's perspective. Like we said, we are people who love technology, so we know people are gonna do dumb shit. Let's just get that out the way.
Right.
Yeah,
There's certain things we know people are gonna do dumb shit, and we also know that there's other concerns, environmental concerns, et cetera, right? We get that. So we understand the playing field, but this is not going anywhere, right? So
you can't.
it's one of them things where learn it now. Let's
Right.
make laws and rules. Let's rein it in as much as we can. It's a waste of time to, oh man, AI is evil. We need to stop AI, bro. AI is already something better than
That's
doing.
toothpaste in the tube. We're not getting it back in at this
It's
point.
over. It's over. So
We're in a full arms race. Like there's a race to see who's gonna have the best AI on the planet. And with that's like having a nuclear race. Like it's like who's going to come the biggest and the best that may be able to control the entire globe. It's not going to
right.
stop anytime soon.
And I'm over here asking it, what can I eat for, like, I'm on keto. What can I eat? You know what I'm saying? This is what I got in the fridge. Like, it's so many practical uses that I use it
Yeah,
for on a daily basis just to figure out, real life problems. Like, somebody I know is having a little issue with their blood pressure. You worry about people you love or whatever. And I was just like, okay, well, this is the scenario.
yeah,
And it would break down, first of all, it tells you, yo, you need to go see a doctor. Right. And listen, I'm not a doctor,
Not
but
a
I can
medical
pull some
professional.
information and help you out. But it'll lead you in the right way. Hey, what's in this medicine? What's this crazy name? I don't know what it is.
yeah.
Mesothelioma
Yeah, right,
gram or
right.
whatever.
Right, right, right.
So like for things like that, man, it's gonna be crucial because it's a faster way to get to where you need to go. And I'm an efficient person. I'm all about efficiency. We don't have a lot of time in the day. So imagine if I can get things done while I'm doing other things
Yeah,
to enjoy myself, have a higher quality of life, spend time with my family. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
and and that's really where I'm at. I mean, even at the office now, I'm using AI all day at work. You know what I'm saying? I'm building tools at work to help all of us be more efficient.
yeah,
And we're not selling no nuclear arms. We just, you know, it's
Can you
corporate
build?
dining.
So are you like building apps
Yeah.
with ChatGPT?
Yep.
All right.
Claude, ChatGPT. I use all of them first of all.
yeah,
Um, some are better than others. Some integrate different ways. Um, you know, but yeah, I mean, they're like I said, they're all tools. So I'm using them
yeah,
all.
yeah,
All right. Well, right there. I guess we have pros and cons for AI use, and I hope Skynet doesn't, one of these motherfuckers don't wake up. I really do. I think the points that you guys made were really important and positive in the use of AI. And just like you guys are saying, it's not going anywhere. I also believe in it's about the usage, even good and bad. Like
Mhm.
on the ground level, we do Sora. I do Sora. I use it. I enjoy it, but it's like bubble gum sometimes. But then I saw, and I won't lie, and this is me just relating it back to in a hip hop cultural way. When 50 Cent made his video and he used it.
he didn't use Sora. He did not use
No,
Sora.
no,
He
I
used a
know.
way better model than
No, no,
Sora.
right. Nah, of course. He used like
Using
nano
banana.
banana
Yeah,
banana, whatever, banana
VO3.
right.
Yeah.
But that was one of the first times that I thought it was good. It was used well. I thought it was creative. And to my point, as long as I guess somebody can use it creatively, I'm gonna give you the respect because it takes a little bit more than this is just video music wise, not uh this is like in the social sense, right? Because
Right.
yeah, we're some of us, like you said, we're tech heavy. We're gonna use it, we're gonna make apps, we're gonna find a way to uh make our lives easier. But some people, soon as the kids that spin the block decide that Chat GPT is cool, who knows what they will produce, right? And I
They're
Yeah.
always
doing it. They're
yeah,
doing it.
and I said this to y'all when we were on Clubhouse, how I was always afraid that they're using it as a source of information to build bigger and more things, right? And then those kids came in and spun the block and destroyed Clubhouse, and it's like a yelling lunchroom. So I wonder, will it be a yelling lunchrooms of LLMs in 4 to 5 years?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. I mean, like I said, you remember when the internet first started popping, we had to go get discs,
Mm-hmm.
and we sitting in chat rooms and all that, and
Mm-hmm.
we were few and far between. And the next thing you know, everybody found us, and they
Right.
Yep.
and they ruined the space. But at the
Yep.
end of the day, everything normalizes, right? So yes, everything that people do dumb, they're gonna do with AI, right? And some people it's just mindless behavior, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
think this is where when people are concerned about AI usage and data centers and the environment, stuff like that, this is going to become something that people are using all day, every day. Now, let's be clear: streaming video, right? Watching YouTube videos, all that stuff, not great for the environment, right? Because all of it is using massive amounts of data, and we have to cool those computers. So,
Yep.
just like anything else with energy, and this is a conversation with all energy, we have to figure out renewable sources and better ways to do it. So we might as well get ahead of that too and be like, listen, we need to solve this problem while we have it. But at the end of the day, goods, we know, like, yo, I just want to make some funny shit,
Yep.
right?
Right.
I just
Yeah.
want to make a
Yeah.
funny video. I just want to do some weird, I just want to enjoy myself at whatever it is, whether it's good, bad, whether
Mm-hmm.
you like it, whether it's tasteful, whether it's not. That's the world. It's another tool for people to use to be whatever they already are. You know what I'm saying? It's not introducing anything that never was here. It's just speeding up the process. You know what I'm saying? So we got to, once again, parents got to be careful and monitor what their kids is doing, just like on the internet, just like with Discord and YouTube and all that other kind of stuff. So I think it's the same ground rules. But if we accept it now, we could get to that part, right? The more we hen and hawn about, we want to get rid of the AI. It's not, bro. It's too late. Let's make sure we're responsible with it,
Yeah.
or figure that out.
I will say there has been, especially talking about Elon, claims of, putting certain data centers that cause environmental issues right next to neighborhoods, right? Especially
Mm-hmm.
black and brown neighborhoods. That does need to change, but that doesn't mean stop AI to change it. That means the community needs to get strong as a whole and be able to be a force to make sure that those things don't happen. Because the AI is going to come, and if you lose out, then we'll individually lose out and we'll lose out as a community.
Right.
So we need to do both at the same time.
Yeah. So it's funny because, first of all, that's a real estate thing, right? To be honest,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Cheap
Mm-hmm.
real estate, saying put it somewhere where you're gonna get it for the low. It's like
Yeah.
it's like computer
Where a
gentrification.
politician's gonna approve it.
It's computer gentrification. Let's keep it real. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
That's
So
crazy. Yeah.
they just built. So there's a Hyundai plant in Huntsville, Alabama, right? It. Let me make sure it's in Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then right across the street from it, Meta just opened up a data center, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's cheap, it's easy. You know, this is what's happening with energy. Period. These data centers are just another energy spots, another plant. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we gotta take issue with all of that. If we care about the environment, care about it across the board. That's my thing. I do care about the environment, right? So stop eating burgers. You
Mm-hmm.
probably not.
And
And I'm
that,
not, I'm not, I'm not
yeah.
really, I'm not really telling people like, yo, you have to do that. But I'm just
Right.
saying the worst thing still in the world is the animal industrial complex, right? Not just for water usage, but just for tearing up the damn ecosystem and the
Yeah, it's
planet.
destroying the Amazon as we speak.
So, we got to care about all this stuff. I hate when, because here's the thing, people are monetizing these negative conversations. That's what they care about. They care about making money. So they want you to complain, and they're hyping that shit up.
Yeah.
Facebook, you're doing it on Facebook. You're doing it on Instagram. Like, you're on a place that is terrible for the environment with billionaires making them richer, crying about AI.
Yep.
That's the
And the
part where I'm
environment.
like, when I
Make it
see
make sense.
otherwise intelligent people doing that shit, I'm like, yeah, they got us. So in the meantime, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get ahead of this thing. I'm gonna teach me and mine how to get ahead of this thing, be responsible with it. I'm gonna build things that I feel like can help people, and I'm gonna enjoy myself with it too. I'm gonna have fun, just like I did when I got my first sidekick. You know what I'm saying? And I was uploading my notes to the cloud before people even knew what the cloud was.
It's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's where we are. It's that cycle. And, we're going to do it until we destroy each other. It ain't going to be AI. It's going to be somebody telling the AI. And listen, your fear is not about it going autonomous. It's about somebody like Donnie telling AI to do some crazy shit. And us hoping that the AI is like, nah, B, I can't do that.
That's too much.
Yeah,
Because the
because
one
it's not
thing,
going
the
to be
one thing I'll
programmed
tell
for that.
you is, it's certain things, and with OpenAI and Claude, if you say that to them, nah, bro, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Nope. So let's make sure that those things stay in place. Let's fight those fights. Let's fight for fair usage, smart usage, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to over police it and let it get all weird and religious and political and all that kind of stuff. But it's certain things that we do as a society gotta, have conversations about when it comes to AI usage.
That's a fact.
Thank you both. Thank you. I don't want to hold your ear, burn
Nah,
your
but I
ears.
want to ask you. Can
Yeah,
can we ask you a
yeah.
question?
I just didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? Ask me what you need to
No,
ask
you
me, man,
good.
because I'm here. I'm here.
What have you been using AI for?
Okay, so initially I definitely wasn't a fan of AI. I definitely was and no, I just like I said earlier, I felt it was lazy. So Tat kind of was like, hey, try Sora out. And at the same time, when he was telling me I should try Sora, I was using Logic, and I needed more sounds. And in Waves is uh, they give you plugins and sounds for your Logic. It's something that you use with your DAW, and I think it's called, don't quote me, Engine, but they have something INGEN where you can type, oh, I need a bass line that's similar to a Larry Levan song. And for whatever credits, whatever they charge you for the credits, they could do it. So they give you 1,000 credits. So I started to use it. I was like, oh, I started to use it for singing because I was like, oh, I need a singer. So I would make a couple phrases and then boom. And I was like, oh, this is kind of ill. It sounded good. It didn't sound great, but it sounded good enough that I could use this. And then I was like, well, give me a drum that sounds like Clyde Stubblefield. And I felt like I was cheating, because I'm from the days when I'm digging through a record and I gotta find
Yeah.
the right snare, and all of a sudden it's playing it. And I'm like, wait, all right, well, give me Ron Carter bass line, 98 beats per minute, and it could do it, right? So it was like, fuck. It took something
You,
that I really
you
liked.
know why you're not cheating though? Is because you knew the names of the people that had the snares and the bass lines and the things that you wanted, where everybody don't know that sit down and are like, oh, I want to create a beat, I want to do this, I want to do that. So you prompted it with specific knowledge that gave you the perfect response where everybody's not going to get that. And my argument has always been too progressive for it because we work and live in a community of creatives, right? We're around them all the time. So we see this argument going back and forth, and neither side is wrong. It's not a The problem is if a non-creative person sits down and wants something creative, and then they just say to the thing, yo, give me a song. You know what I'm saying? And then the thing comes up with a whole thing based off of nothing, just a song. So it's not a creative using it. So it's not going to get that perfect response back. It's going to get noise or slop or whatever it's going to get back. But if a creative uses it with their knowledge of what they want, then you're going to get the thing probably the best you've ever gotten it. So it's not cheating because you're using yourself to do it.
No, yeah. And so then that was like, all right, let me try it. So then you sent me Sora. I started to use Sora. And to your point, anybody could say anything. Give me a turtle that's on the wave singing Elvis song. But I was like, well, give me a neon futuristic turtle with a drone shot that's panned from, you know what I'm saying, from this directors. And that's where I do agree with you. If you have certain, you will be able to enhance the AI experience, right? And I'll say this when I was like, all right, let me adopt it a little bit because I don't want to write a bio for our health and wealth podcast. So I need a starting point. Hey, tell me how to do a podcast, then, and it did it. And I think right there was that sticking point when I was like, I have to utilize this. I have to find a way where I don't feel too guilty, right? Like not doing the research to get what I want, but how can I organize this? So then when everyone was talking about a mean and you guys were talking about using Claude and large language models, I was like, what's going on here? So when I started to do the videos and doing my own, like I deep dive for like 12 hours one day, and I saw that Claude can go into your computer, organize what you want. I would never let it, right? Unless I had its own.
Yeah, you got a sandbox.
Mini, own sandbox, whatever that it can work in. But I was like, yeah, why not? Why not let it run a business? Why not let it create something else? But I just, like you said, it's up to us what we prompt, right? Because some people are gonna use it for nefarious reasons, and that is always where I kind of worry. Like, are we 4 years off from somebody having a serious grudge and realizing that these
But
AIs can control technology? Why
Well,
wouldn't
but
it?
here's the thing.
those same people are already sorry, Sid, real quick.
I go
Those same people are already outside or already online being nefarious. Like
Yeah, I'm probably too late already, right? Yeah, they probably have their own AI.
or just they're just using tools, whatever tools they are, to be nefarious. They're going to, if they can figure out an AI, then yeah, they're going to figure out how to be nefarious with the AI. But
right,
they, to Sis's point, they were already nefarious. They were
right.
already
It was already
doing the
trash.
things that was fucking up shit. They were already calling your grandma trying to delete her, empty her bank account. Like that,
Right.
nothing has changed except for the tool that they use. You just have to prepare for it. I don't
I'm
let my
just
moms answer the phone anymore.
I'm waiting on AI scammer rap. You know what I'm saying? Because
That's next.
but the creative conversation is interesting because you gave a great example of pulling things and asking AI, hey, I need this, I need that, and I ask people this question: what's the difference between you asking AI to do that and you stealing yourself? Right? When you sample back in the day or whatever, did you pay that person? No, we was trying to hide the sample. We was trying not to pay people. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
the irony is people I know was sampling and not paying people, saying they hate AI. It's just, once again, AI only knows what's in the air, right? Or what you give it. So if you want to take it to Suno, right? Suno only knows what you give it. So when Timberland was jacking people's stuff, he was literally uploading specific people's stuff into the system. And that's how he got something that sounded like those people. It's not AI. They're like, oh my God, AI is terrible. No, Timberland, he could have did that without it. He could have did a blurred lines, right? What's the difference between what Pharrell did?
Yeah.
You jacked Marvin Gaye and acted like you didn't.
No, that's the truth. So Timberland is the nefarious AI user.
But he always was nefarious. He's
So
been
then, yeah,
nefarious since
I
day
guess it
one.
just fits. Yeah, right. So then, yeah,
That's who he is. So people
right.
mad at the. Here's the thing. Once again, you mad at the AI. You should be mad at the person
Mhm.
because the person tells the AI what to do. The person gives the AI your stuff. AI only knows, like I said, what's in the air. So it really can only pull from open source stuff. There are rules. You can go to Google Test Kitchen, right? And if you say a name of a person, they're like, "Yo, we can't do that.
Mhm.
I can't use somebody's actual stuff."
Yeah,
Because
Sora is good with
if
that.
you
They're not
do,
using people's faces now.
right, but if you do, then you got to get paid. So here's the other part. How do we figure out, and shout out to the people that are coming up with technology, how do we figure out how to get people paid? Because we're going to end up with another Spotify because people are opting out of being involved.
Yep.
They're going to use your shit anyway. Let's figure out how to get you paid. Let's figure out systems to come up and make sure that we're compensated properly. That's what we should be worrying about.
Yep.
You're not getting rid of AI, bro. It's not going nowhere. So let's figure out how to use it responsibly. Let's figure out how to use it to make money. Let's figure out how to use it to build great things, right?
Yep.
So yeah, that should be the conversation, and that is the conversation in some of the creative community, right? There are a lot of people talking about that, so I want to big them up. A lot of people coming up with tools. My homeboy came up with an app called the Two Shot app,
What's the
and
name?
it is ethical AI,
Okay.
right? And so basically, it will allow you to train the model, and it pays out the creatives who use it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So that's a really big thing for people who are developing tools like that. I know BeStars just bought a company, I think it's called Lemonade, and they're working on some tools, some AI tools for creators to be able to use, producers, et cetera, et cetera. Like, let's figure out how to get people paid. Are you like YouTube, right? Your stuff's all over YouTube. How many people are getting paid? Are you getting paid when somebody go listen to your stuff?
Right,
They
exactly.
don't even let you opt into their program, right? You had to go through a MCN,
Yeah,
and
you
then
gotta
you
go
had to
through
go through a third party
Vimeo or
company,
something. Right,
right?
exactly.
They're like, oh, you don't have enough viewers. Yeah, but somebody using my stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
And, oh, well, it's fair use. Why? How do they get to dictate
Yeah.
when your stuff's used? And
Right.
somebody can pull up songs that I don't even have. I don't even have the stems or the masters stuff I
And
recorded
and
20
it,
years ago.
it'll be on YouTube under somebody's page. I have
It's
like
on
tons of
YouTube.
songs
It's
like
on
that.
it's on Spotify. Like, I'm like, yo.
Hmm.
So we came up with tools to help you get paid. Now, plug. I own a distro company, right? And a royalty collection service where you can
What's the name of
get
that company
your
so I could put it right behind you when we
it's
say this
called
company?
Creative Space Music Group. And shout out to our backbone video. And you can literally get your music without having the actual sound recording, right? So if you got a song that you put out and you don't own, somebody put it out, you don't even know the guy or whatever, you can still claim your portion. You can get,
Great.
it's your composition. So basically you can register your compositions,
Yeah, that's
right?
dope.
And get paid for your compositions because a lot of us got material out here. Once again, this is about making sure that people get credit and money where money's being generated for their work. So if AI is being used to train, and we got to be very careful because there are instances where AI is absolutely being taking people's stuff and people are training their AI instances and AI in general with your stuff, right?
Hmm.
But there's also people who are going to pick up a gun and shoot somebody.
Hmm.
And if somebody's going to pick up a gun and defend somebody, somebody's going to pick up a gun and just make sure that
Hmm.
you're not in a bad position. So it's a bunch of different ways. Once again, we
AI
got to
is the
figure
gun.
out AI is absolutely the gun. It's the pencil. It's the NPC. It's
Hmm.
the computer. It's a tool. It's all of that stuff. And people are going to do crazy stuff with it. And some people are going to do amazing things with it. It's people
Yep.
developing medical stuff. It's people like the world is moving forward faster.
Yep.
It's people using this for research. I can have my AI do stuff while I'm sleeping.
Right.
I can have it. I can start it on a mission. I can give it all, yo, do this, do this, do this, and then go out do something else.
Yep.
I can get 3 times, 4 times as much work done in a day. Why wouldn't I do that? Why
Yep.
wouldn't you do that? Why do people want to struggle? Why do you feel like that's the way it's got to be?
A lot of times, new technology greets people. They greet it with fear, right?
Stop driving, walk.
Yeah, right.
Get your car up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, like you know me, I love laughing at hypocrites because it's the nature of people. We all are,
Hmm.
and at some point, you know what I'm saying. So I'm just sitting back laughing because once again, these same people, they gonna be the ones. Just like when people was talking about, you remember when cell phones was corny in the hood? Oh, you on the internet? Like like
Like, how
cats
you
was
gonna be on
really
the
like
phone?
this dude on the internet.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
everybody on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Now gangsters on the internet taking pictures
Yep.
of what they doing.
Yeah,
You
Yep.
FaceTime
know,
was weird at one time. Like, how you
that
gonna
was
be calling
like
somebody
that
on
was
the internet? Like that?
you a nerd. You on the internet. I
Mhm.
never forget somebody saying that to me. But
Fact.
look at where we are. So once again, it's not that we know the future. We know the past. We
Right,
know how
and it
this
repeats
goes.
itself. It always
You know what I'm
repeats
saying?
itself.
So hey, man,
Yep.
that's where we are.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Any
it.
other questions?
Nah, man. I mean, you gave me some applications. That's really what we chop it up about. How we using AI,
Right.
and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. Like,
Yep.
like I said, I use it all day on a daily basis because I like to learn. I like to ask questions when I see something. I like to be able to process something come out. Oh, yo, what about this, that, and the third? Like, it's
But
a great
you know
tool.
what's dope? So like I was saying earlier, I had downloaded the new Logic when I got the computer, and the new Logic comes with an AI assistant. It comes with
Hmm.
Chat
They all
GPT.
do.
Well, it has Chat GPT in there. Like if you're writing a song, it'll like check the chords and it'll check the tempo. And then if you already have some of the lyrics, it'll help you, write some more lyrics. But it also has a feature which I thought was crazy. And once again, I had the is this lazy moment, is that you can have a drum, you can have something, right? Like some sort of, and you cannot have, but you can have a starting point in your song right now, and you could say, man, I need, instead of going out and hiring a guitar, they have like such session players. So they have a
Hmm.
guitar, they have a piano, and they have a drummer. So you can have a song, you could say, oh, I need a bass line. It'll scan your song for as long as you've said for that section, and it'll play the chords and measures that may fit there that you'll like. And then you're able to adjust it the way you like. So basically you have a keyboard player, a bass player, and a guitar player on hand at any time.
Hmm.
So, like, of course, for me, that was like hell yeah, right? I would want to be like nah, but all those times that I'm like, damn, I just need a bass line. I don't want to have to pay somebody $100, which there it is the for me the AI problem where they say it's taking jobs. It like I don't need these. I don't have to sit here and figure out all these keys that I've been doing. So
It,
hit seven.
it wouldn't have been taking the job if you knew how to do it. And AI is just you now knowing how to do it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm not gonna turn it off. I'm not gonna not use it anymore. So it is what it is. I'm here to adopt it and use it respectfully.
Hey, man,
And
how you think horses feel, man? Cars took their job.
mhm. Yeah,
They
I know.
probably
Put
felt
them on the
relieved.
plate.
They ain't got to pull shit all the time now. They got niggas sitting on their back. They probably like, yo, thank fucking God these niggas
Nah,
made
them
this
They
niggas.
shit. Get
I
the
they
don't
trying to
fuck
think
get a
off
so.
ride.
me.
I don't think so. Them niggas was like
Now they
they
bored.
Now
they
they bored.
no nigga, they ain't bored. They
That's gonna be
Alpo,
us in
my
a couple
nigga.
years.
They
Don't
turned
worry about it.
they turned
We're gonna be the
oh man.
horses.
They told horses in the Alpo, bro. Like I don't think they bored. They probably like, yo, I need my job.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's.
They're going out to pasture is real, bro. That's
They
about
only
horses.
they only turned the horses that was already going to be Alpo into Alpo.
Nah, man, I'm about to do a documentary on horses now and
I
AI.
don't
I'm
even
gonna
want to
write
know,
it.
man. They done took their hair and now they, you know what I'm saying? They turned them into alpha. They gonna run them into
Yo,
the ground, racing, and
Oh
then
nuts.
God.
man, it's a crazy life,
I'm writing the
man.
AI program to save the horses, man. That's my direction, man. After this.
So do you have you used your chat GBT in voice mode?
Not yet. Not yet.
So that is where it's really gonna mess you up. And I'll tell you, so me and my homegirl, we had a meeting and we let our AI assistant sit in on the meeting. And we told her, we said, all right, just listen and then keep notes and we'll chime you in when we, got a question for you, whatever. So we had this whole meeting. We was in a hotel room. We had a meeting for like an hour talking about, business and setting up all this kind of stuff. And at one point we just brought her into the conversation, brought the AI into the conversation. And we was just having a whole three-way conversation. She was suggesting stuff, listening. Like it was kind of crazy.
Mm.
And she also took meeting notes and was
Mhm.
able to send them to us. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So
that's cool.
it's crazy because there's certain times where I'll literally have a conversation with AI and I think about how weird this is going to get for some people.
It is weird because you are having a conversation, right? When you talk to AI, you have to have maybe a conversational style. It's not just a
Mm-hmm.
question because their responses are actually they'll give you maybe two answers and would you like me to go this way? Do you want to go further in depth this way? And the response is so um key to the way that you're going to respond. Because I think if it was just a blank response like in Google
That
search, you just stop. But
that's
they're like,
much
you want to know
more.
more.
That's what, to his point, that's much more fluid when it's on voice mode. When it's on
Yeah.
voice mode, it's like a real, like they don't have a tone per se, but you get,
Mm-hmm.
what they're saying, and they understand your tone a little bit better. It's a lot more fluid when it's on voice mode.
And the more you talk to it, the more it understands you and it understands how to speak and all that kind of stuff. So if you have your version of ChatGPT, it knows you after a while. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like it retains certain information about you. Hey, Goods, how was your day? You working on anything with the
yeah,
music? You know what I'm saying? Like you've been editing any
Mm-hmm.
footage today? How's the podcast going?
All right.
Like all the things that you kind of talked about. How's your family? Like this, that, and the third. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So that's why I said like that's a good thing, right? For some people. But it could get really weird for others. Um, and that's where I think those movies, like the Cherry 1000s and all that kind of stuff, like those
Mm-hmm.
kind of movies
hmm
where you have people who might be a little detached from reality anyway.
Right. The disassociated people, they're not. If they get a computer, they're going to be in their own world, creating something and coming outside, and it's not going to match up. You know what I'm
But
saying?
I love people who aren't familiar with AI. I love having a conversation with them and my AI. Like it freaks them out because they're like, wait, what? Because it's so normal and such a regular conversation, and it's not like, hi, how are you? It's like, nah,
No,
we
Yeah, the
chopping it
tone
up.
of it. Yeah, the tone of it's
We
normal.
we
Yeah.
we having a whole chop up session, and it goes places where you don't think it's gonna go in
yeah,
conversation.
Yeah, I
You're like,
agree.
oh,
I
okay,
agree. Mhm.
okay. So that's where like it's fun to teach. Like I like teaching people, especially people that are like, man, I don't like AI. Yeah, watch this. So my question is, who's gonna put out the first podcast with AI?
I think it's already out.
Are you
I
saying
think
I
it's
want to watch it. I
maybe
want to
not
watch
in
it.
in our
AI
genre.
podcast?
Yeah, no, no, I'm pretty sure somebody has. But I think somebody in our genre need to do that.
Yeah,
Like like
AI
with a
podcast.
yeah, with it. No, when we chop where it's us and the AI.
yeah.
Oh,
You know what
yes,
I'm
yes.
saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's remember Cedar? Remember
Yeah,
Cedar's
Oh,
little
on BET.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
they
yeah.
said Cedar was the first AI.
He's the first AI. That's funny, but you're right. You're right.
But yeah, I think that's another dope application. And like I said, a lot of time, like I've been in the studio and I've turned on the camera and I've let the AI like hear the music, and like it was crazy. I was in the studio and the AI was like, "Yo, that's dope," and I'm like, "What's dope?" Like the song, the beat, and I was like, "What the hell?" Like, how the hell you?
I'm gonna have the first AI. We're gonna do it here. We're gonna build it and then have
Let's
a
do it,
conversation.
man. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's
That'll be our next one.
Get a Nerdland AI.
Yeah, Nerdland AI.
There it is.
That'll give Amin some direction also. Because he's like, what am I gonna do with all of this?
No, Amin is
I know.
is accomplishing a lot. He's testing it all out. He's messing with the agents. He's messing with the LLMs, local cloud.
Amin's going crazy.
But you gotta make sure he doesn't get caught by Mr. Smith.
I mean, Mr. Smith is going to be on all our asses at some point. But you know, as long as you have a good relationship with Mr. Smith, you're all right. So get to know him now, and you'll be good. You know,
facts.
It is what it is.
All right, I'm gonna wrap it up, brothers. Wrap this part of the good things, the AI conversations with my brother Tat Wizard and Sis with an incredible amount of information. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm making short and sweet. It does not stop. Like Dallas would say, we are the Nerdland crew. We do many things, and all my peoples will be here and be back. Thank you for the support. And anything you guys want to say? Anything on your way out?
Hey man, thanks for having us, man.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. To the next episode.